Hey guys, it's Lexi Combs and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another wedding video and I'm taking you through making my wedding hashtag sign. I started off by designing my sign on canva.com, which is an amazing free resource. There is a paid version, but most everything that you can do on there is free. And I set my dimensions to 8 by 10 so that it would be exactly how big my printer paper is, and I used the font Moontime for the O snap part, and I can't remember what I used for the bottom part, but I just went ahead and printed it out on my normal printer paper. Here I'm just pulling the plastic casing off of my thin piece of plastic. Now you can use a thin piece of plastic like this, a piece of acrylic, or even just an old piece of glass from maybe like a thrift store frame would work fantastic. I lined my pieces of paper that I printed out with my design on it up, and I taped them to make sure that they were completely even, and I measured from the actual outside of the lettering and not the outside of the pieces of paper, simply because they did not end up printing out exactly in the middle of the paper, and I wanted to make sure that the sign was even. Once I did that and made sure that everything was even with those, I taped it down to the back of our piece of plastic with just some painter's tape. That way you can easily take it off after you're done tracing. So here I am again, just lining it up and making sure that everything is good to go before I tape down this last piece of my sign that I had designed in Canva. Next, I flipped over my piece of plastic and I just remeasured everything to make sure that once again it was even and that I was happy with it before I started tracing. Then I used this Sharpie oil-based pen I got from Michael's, and I went over the letters and started tracing. Now, I am not good with handwriting, and I did end up going over the letters of the O part again. I wish I wouldn't have done that because that part did look a little sloppy. The best thing that you can do is keep your pen moving and do consistent strokes with it. But I will say, even though I don't have the best handwriting, this obviously really helps a lot. If you don't want to actually hand do this, you can absolutely use your Cricut or maybe a stencil. Anything like that will work, but this just seemed to be the cheapest and easiest way that I could figure out. I let the lettering dry for a few minutes just to be cautious. It probably would have been fine if I flipped it over like 1 minute later, but I just wanted to be extra sure. So I flipped it over and I just took our pieces of paper off, and I then started going on the back with this rose gold Art Deco texture paint that I got from Michael's. Now, this did take me 3 coats, and I had to let them dry for at least like 10 to 20 minutes in between, but this is me just doing the first coat, and I was not going all the way to the edges, and I was going in a diagonal pattern. I wanted it to look super organic, like I just splashed some paint on there, which is literally what I did. Don't worry if it's not perfect. I got this little mini easel from Five Below for $5, and I started to go over it with some white paint. Now, honestly, this didn't really make that much of a difference, and I did not feel like painting it multiple times. If you want to paint it or stain it a different color, if you're going to paint, definitely just use some spray paint, and stain would honestly probably look really amazing with this. This sign only cost me $10, and it turned out absolutely gorgeous. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you never miss when I upload next. And go ahead and follow me on all my other social medias, TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest.